Chicken wing, hot dog, and bologna. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Vidane TV. Showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth, and we are here for another Tuesday night doubleheader. A little bit of iRacing action here this evening. Joker's Wild, bshow.info. Joker's Wild here at iRacing Superspeedway. A little bit of the kart racing later on with the Kartplex iRacing Winter Series. Going to be fun to catch up with those cats as well. But before we get there, we've got ourselves a race here at iRacing Superspeedway. A little bit of a fictional racetrack that some of the drivers kind of struggled with the first time we were here earlier on this season. And it is absolutely a gamble here at iRacing Superspeedway. I believe it was Kenny Rogers that said a long time ago, hey, you got to know and hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away. Yeah, we're all over that. Great to have bshow.info on board once again with a sponsorship here tonight. Check out bshow.info, www.bshow.info. Lots of cool stuff over there. Doorstop Nation on board with the sponsorship as well. Shout out to Joe. Had him on the Slam Drafted Radio last week before last. It was great to catch up, kind of learn a little bit about the man behind the sponsorship here with the Liberty Racing League, helping these drivers out. And oh, by the way, speaking of sponsorship, speaking of Joker's Wild, and speaking of a little bit of extra coin in the purse, you may notice there's only a couple of drivers taking qualifying times here as we get that ticker wrapped up. Looks like Rob Collier going to start on the pole. A little bit of a bonus here tonight. Anyone starting in the last 3 rows that wins gets a cool, clean $50 bill from Joe over at bshow.info. If none of those drivers starting in the final 3 rows are able to win the highest finisher, gonna get 10 smackaroos. So big time shout out to Joe, big time shout out to bshow.info for helping us out. You gotta know when to fold them, know when to hold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. So lots of drivers gonna try and take the old EOL and see if they can claw their way up through this Liberty Racing League field. Qualifying wrapped up. There you see it, the man on top, the O2 car, Rob Collier, multiple wins this season, showing that he is no slouch. He is showing he is championship caliber material, and he wants to fight for that championship belt at the end of the season, trying to make himself into the playoffs. You're only going to be able to catch that action right here live on Vidane TV. Got some cool stuff coming up here in the next couple of weeks. We got some hardware, some software upgrades coming in, so the quality of the picture going to be better. The quality of the product going to be better. And you are going to be entertained here at Vidane TV. So there you see them. The drivers getting all lined up. Lots of drivers lined up for this one. Running the Xfinity cars here this evening. One of the cool things about the Liberty Racing League, these guys do not run the same car, do not run the same track each and every week. Yes, indeed, it is a Super Speedway series, but we rotate through the cars, the Cup cars, the Xfinity cars. We had some trucks last weekend, the 87 Cup cars as well. So it's always cool to see just what kind of combination we're going to be doing here. And here at the iRacing Super Speedway, it's kind of a fictional racetrack. It's it kind of got put together in another simulation back in the day. iRacing brought it over and put it in here, and it's a little bit of a struggle. There's a lot of drivers that have a hard time with this racetrack. Lots of room all the way around. Many grooves all the way around. Steep banking. Big time steep banking. That's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on. And you do have to kind of throttle off just a little bit getting into those corners to make sure you're able to hold on to it. Let's take a peek at that starting grid. Pardon my English. The bshow.info. Joker's Wild pole going to that O2 car of Rob Collier. Nathan Brown going to start on the outside of him. Rowdy Wesley Hogue, saw him back through the field a couple of times last week, trying to get himself the first one of the season in that 38 car. He's going to be rolling off on the inside of row number 2. Bobby Anderson in that 18 car, very, very strong. He's going to be up on the high side. Nick McClellan starting right behind him in the 6th position. And got to take a peek at that 84 car. Wu-Tang Clan on the hood. Jax Duvall ain't nothing to mess with. Keep an eye on that 84 car starting in 5th. There you see right in behind Leon Kennis and Derek Mack going to start in row 4. Rick Sebren's in the 4 car, very fast, as is the 17 right next to him in P10. Now remember, top 8, they're the only cats that took times here. They want to try, everybody in the field trying to get a hold, trying to get themselves qualified, as it were, to see if they can maybe get themselves a little bit of a bonus. $50 is no little bonus. That's a long way. That's almost a full dozen of eggs for $50 that bshow.info is throwing up here tonight as a bonus. Anybody that starts in the last 3 rows that's able to come home with the victory gets that $50. And so we'll take a peek here. Brent Roy starting shotgun, but we also, it looks like we've got 4 cars that didn't make the start of the race, so we're going to have to take a peek on that. Here they come, coming around the back ends there. So we'll get that taken care of. We'll get timing and scoring all sorted out, and we will find out who's going to come home with a little bit of extra money in the pocket. And once again, bshow.info showing up in a big way here on Tuesday nights for the Liberty Racing League. Got to check out that website after the race, bshow.info. Lots of cool stuff, interviews, prank calls, entertainment, and it's for the masses. 33 cars taking the green flag here this evening. 80 laps on the docket, and it starts with lap number 1. Green flag flies. It's a dead heat between the front 2 drivers in that front row, and take a look at that 38 car already all over the back bumper of the 02 car of Collier. Hogue is hungry. He wants to get that 38 car in victory lane for the first time this season. Takes these drivers just a little bit of time to kind of get warmed up to the racetrack, get a little bit of tire build up, little heat build up in the tires. How about that black and yellow car up on the high side? Jax Duval in the 84 car doing it by himself, it looks like, and you can see he's going to drop back just a little bit. Anderson and the 18 going to join the 02 and the 38 to see if they can maybe pull away from the field here just a little bit. But you can see just how much room is on this racetrack. And folks, we apologize for the timing and scoring. We do have Dan Withers, Michael Hicks, Don Ashton, Brent Roy, final 4 cars in the field here, showing that they're out of the race, but we will get that sorted out here. Working on those upgrades here at Vidane TV. We'll be ready to rock and roll probably tomorrow. Waiting on the old UPS driver to drop off the stuff that we need to entertain the masses here at Vidane TV. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, all over the internet here this evening. I think they've even got us hooked up at Beaker's Garage once again in True Fiction RP. Got to give a shout out to all the boys up at the shop, taking a look at a little bit of racing action here. Caution flag flies for the first time here on lap number 1. You can see the field kind of coming up to a close here, and tough break for, it looks like a black and green car towards the back of the pack. Got to get that cameraman to make sure that he gets on to those wrecks just a little bit quicker. But Rob Collier going to bring them down. There's the iRacing pace car going to come up, gather the field back up, and get these drivers, going to give them an opportunity to potentially come down pit road, maybe top off on fuel. We've seen a lot of fuel mileage races go down here on Vidane TV as of late. So definitely going to be something that's going to be on the drivers' minds, on the crew chiefs' minds, and they will definitely be coming down, potentially anyway, to see if they can get a little bit of service here on those race cars. We're going to step away for just a brief moment. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back for some green flag action here at iRacing Superspeedway, live on Vidane TV. just in time to take that green flag after that restart. Jax Duvall, the only driver to not come down pit road. Everybody else coming down to top off on the virtual Sunoco race fuel and comes back off. You can see Wes Hogue in the 38 car won that race off of pit road, and they have got themselves lined up there single file for the front 4 cars. Jax Duvall, Wesley Hogue, Nathan Brown, Taylor Lisowski, the top 4. How about Jerry Bolliard in the 97? He's going to be in the top 5. Rob Collier sliding on back to 6. Donovan Gerald, Brian Skidmore, Jimmy Reynolds, and Nick McClellan rounding out the top 10 currently here at iRacing Superspeedway, the Liberty Racing League on a bshow.info Tuesday night. Little Joker's Wild action here this evening. Knowing when to fold them, knowing when to fold them. You can see a couple of lines going on through this one. Drivers trying to utilize the entire racetrack here. As you can see, some drivers up high, some drivers down low, some drivers up in the middle. And you can follow right along there with the live timing and scoring brought to you by SDK Gaming. Got to give those cats a shout out for sure. 33 cars taking the green flag. Right now, it looks like the only 3 drivers off the pace. Mark Mann in the 04, the Ford machine of Rick Zebrins, and Brent Roy in that 26 towards the back of the pack. And you can see West up in the 17 in that Jaguars machine, trying to make a little magic happen up on that high side. And we've got it lined up 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through here as we work that lap number 9 as we cross the stripe there. Little Taco Bell action up top. Taylor Lisowski, very strong all season long. Oh, wreck the 24 car. Big wreck, huge. Gerald is around. That's going to collect a couple of drivers, it looks like, but a lot of bumper car action going down. Looks like everybody's able to hold on to it and gather it back up with a couple of cars just getting a little bit of damage, big damage there from Michael Hicks in the 74. Take a peek at the 24 car. He's got some damage there as well. And the Realtree number 24, Rick Zebrins in the 24 car, going to go down and around as well. Going to give us an opportunity here to load on up the U-House Racing Designs Instant Replay. Got to give a shout out to YRD hooking us up, becoming a partner here at Vidane TV for the replays and painting, helping us out with some logos, some paint schemes, awesome stuff. And actually going to be doing some paint schemes for some racing cars in True Fiction RP, little Grand Theft Auto action. More on that soon to come. I'm going to take a peek here at that U-House Racing Designs Instant Replay. Focus in on that 24 car up on the high side. A couple of drivers just kind of going for the same piece of real estate. Oh, you can see the 24 car breaks loose. Big hit for the 76. Holy smokes. Up into that outside safe for barrier smoke coming from the right front of that 24 car. And you can see, ooh, big hit for the 28 car, or the 82 car, rather. That is a tough hit for Matt Swope. Back up the replay on that one. You can see just kicking that car right into the dirt down there and the grass. Take a peek at it here. Everybody getting slowed down. The 82 tries to get that thing turned, and that 76 car was just coming in a hurry down on the bottom side. So the 82 going to park it in the garage area, try and get some of that virtual sheet metal banged on out. Taylor Lisowski going to hold on to the front road here in the 83 car. We work lap number 10. 70 to go here at iRacing Superspeedway and the bshow.info Joker's Wild. And you can see another opportunity for these drivers to come down pit road, and another opportunity taken. Everybody following the leader down pit road. The 83 car of Taylor Lisowski coming on down in the 83, bringing everybody down with him. The only driver not coming down going to be that pace car driver. He's going to stay out. Looks like one more driver may very well be staying out on the track to see if they can get themselves a little bit of track position. But you can see it's going to be West, the 17 car of Kevin West, going to stay out on track, lead himself a lap, get himself a little bit of the bonus points. How about getting some TV time there for that number 17 car? Going to get himself a lap led and try and take a restart here. But how about this race off of pit road? Everybody coming down. Seems like 4 tires and Sunoco race fuel going to be the call of the night here. And it just, with this racetrack being as big as it is, as banked as it is in these corners, it's got that concrete surface that really kind of wears the tires down a whole bunch quicker. So every opportunity these drivers get to come on down and get some tires put onto these race cars, they are absolutely going to take it. They can see some big damage there on the back end of former Venane Racing champ 97 car Jarrett Bollier. Back a little bit further on in the pack, sliding backwards in the early going of this one, but still a little bit of time to try and make up some time. And there you can see Kevin West, the lone soldier out front, going to be the only driver that stayed out under this caution flag. So once again, a shout out to everybody tuning in at home, wherever you may be watching us, your bedroom, your garage, your kitchen, all sorts of different ways to tune in here on Facebook, Venane TV. Just do a quick search for that. You see Kevin West actually going to come down pit road here, it looks like. Nope, down on the back straightaway. No, yeah, going to come down pit road. So wanted to get a lap lead, get that bonus point, and come down, top off the race, the fuel tank, and make sure he's got enough to go on. That's going to be interesting. We're going to have to keep an eye on that in the 17 camp to see if we do, in fact, get a long green flag run. He's just going to have a little bit more in that tank there for the Trailer Park Dude number 17. You can check him out on Twitch, Trailer Park Dude. Give him a quick follow. Let him know Strictly 94 here at Venane TV sent you. But everybody tuning in here on YouTube, on Facebook, on the smart TVs, the apps, all sorts of stuff, and everybody over on Twitch, and everybody tuning in over at Beaker's Garage and True Fiction RP. Got to give a shout out to Hank and the boys. Always cool to be able to knock that fourth wall down. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out TrueFictionRP.com. Little Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay action, and always a good time over there. We're going to be streaming a little bit of that over on Twitch later on this evening. Got some doubleheader action. Got to get the business out of the way first. Got Liberty Racing League here at iRacing Superspeedway, and then we're going to be tuning in just a little bit later after the checkered flag. Going to be coming on aboard with the Kartplex iRacing Winter Series. That's going to go green at 10:30 Eastern Time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Those cats drive the Mazda Miatas around road courses. 30 minutes on the clock. Whoever is in front at the end of it comes home the winner. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get there, though, going to have to wrap things up here. Working lap number 12. Going to get that restart on lap number 13 here at iRacing Superspeedway. Rob Collar in the O2 car down on the bottom side. Taylor Lasowski up on the high side in that Taco Bell number 83 car. Jimmy Reynolds, Don Milkowitz, Sean Calvin going to be the top 5. Route Wesley Hogue going to restart in 6. Bobby Anderson, Jack Duval, Nathan Brown, and Bobby Gibson going to be the top 10 as they run for this restart. And there goes the pace car going down the safety of pit road one more time. Going to grab himself a corn dog and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. And we are going to get that restart. Rob Collier in that O2 car is gone. He is blasting off like a SpaceX rocket going up there to rescue some cosmonauts on the International Space Station. The O2 car very fast all season long, and you can see right here getting himself a little bit of distance between first and second, and that's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on. You can see this 33 car Reynolds closing right up to the back bumper. Check that. That's a 17 right in behind him, and Hogue, huge run on the outside by himself, and it's going to bring a whole bunch of his friends with him. Oh, and that's going to see the 83 car gets turned into the outside wall. Caution flag going to fly once again. There's Anderson involved in this one. Big wreck here on lap number 13. Still wrecking as drivers piling on in, trying to drive through the smoke. Huge wreck. Lap 13. One more opportunity here to pull up the U-House Racing Design Instant Replay, and this is going to be tough. We do have quick repairs in with the Liberty Racing League, but it's only limited to one, maybe two of them. So that's going to be something we're going to take a peek here after we take a look at the U-House Racing Designs Instant Replay. Here's the 52 car of Don Ashton. Further on, a little bit back, you see the 24 car there involved in the earlier wreck. Ooh, tough hit there, right into the back of the 933. And you can see just the calamity as these drivers just not able to see through the smoke. Big damage there for the 18 there of Bobby Anderson. We're going to back that tape up one more again and take a peek at it. And there you can see that's going to be the 13 and the 83. Focusing on those guys up on the high side. You see the 38 car of Wes Hogue going to try and make the high line work. And the 13 gets a good square bump there. The 83 with a huge run. And it just looks like he ran out of room. Wasn't able to get didn't want to run into the back of the 83 car, essentially, his teammate there of Rowdy Wesley Hogue, so backed up just a little bit, and unfortunately nowhere really for the 13 car to go. It's tough to see through the race cars, so that's going to be kind of a racing deal there. That's a tough break. That put a lot of damage on a lot of these race cars. So there you see the 02 car going to come down pit road, and he's going to bring a whole bunch of drivers with him, and that's going to give everybody an opportunity once again to kind of top off those fuel tanks and get everything rocking and rolling here for the final laps of this one. But we got at least one, maybe two more pit stops to deal with as we work lap number 15. Handful of drivers staying out, being led by Wes Hogue. Don Milkowitz in the 13 car. He's going to stay out on track, as is Nick McClellan and David Watts. And you can see pit road, a busy place here in iRacing Superspeedway. This is going to be where the fuel mileage kind of takes place, where the pit strategy starts to dwindle here as well. Some drivers are going to come down, take 2 tires. Some take 4, maybe just fuel only. And it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. If we're going to see a little bit of tire wear as we get some long green flags runs in. But you can see there's probably about a dozen cars still down on pit road getting some virtual sheet metal banged out with those pit crews. A couple of drivers going to be retiring down into the garage area for the evening. But there are quite a handful of hurt race cars in this one. So working lap number 15 here, Rowdy Wesley Hogue up front, hungry. That driver wants to get himself a win here in the Liberty Racing League this season and has not done so yet. Currently in possession of that championship belt. Beautiful championship belt. Debuted it right here on Verdane TV on Slam Drafting with Liberty Racing just a few weeks ago. Awesome piece of hardware that all these drivers are going to be fighting to get themselves into the playoffs and fighting to win that championship. And you can see Wes Hogue going to take a peek, just seeing, and he's just taking a peek down pit road, seeing if anybody was down there. Going to stay out on track for this one and see if he can kind of utilize that track position to get up towards the front. Qualified in 3rd, so has himself a fast little piece in that 38 car. Lights off, though, on the iRacing pace car. 13 car, Don Milkowitz going to restart on the outside. Nick McClellan, Dave Watts, Rob Collier going to restart in the top 5. Jimmy Reynolds in the 33 having a great run, 17 spots gained from where he qualified. Rick Seabrins, Jarrett Bolliard, Michael Rogers, and Brian Skidmore, the top 10 as they restart. We're getting them lined up 2 by 2 by 2, getting ready to take the green flag once again at the bshow.info. Joker's Wild here at iRacing Superspeedway. iRacing pace car bringing these drivers down around the track one more time, giving everybody just a little bit of an opportunity to pull the virtual belts tight to make sure the steering wheel is stuck on that computer desk. And these drivers going to do battle once again. There goes that pace car sliding on down into pit road. 38 of Hogue, 13 of Milkowitz up on the high side. Green flag flies. Once again, we take the green and start lap number 17. 38 gets a big shot out of the gate. The 12 car, McClellan, going to start to close that gap just a little bit. He's going to have himself a bit of a run as he starts to try and close in on the 38. You can see the 13 there of Milkowitz trying to close in as well. He gets down to the bottom side. Multiple race winners so far this season. 02 car of Rob Collier tucked in there as well. Rick Seabrins moving on up. Jarrett Bollier, Jimmy Reynolds. All these drivers kind of single file there down on the bottom side, and they are going to see if they can get themselves a victory here in the iRacing Superspeedway. And You can see these drivers very familiar with these super speedways, and after the last time we were here in the iRacing Superspeedway track, it was a little bit of a caution-filled race, lots of wrecks, but it looks like these drivers really putting in a lot of extra time here in the final practice and practicing all week long for this one. And these Xfinity cars, a little bit easier to drive, a little bit easier to hold on to as they kind of power into the corner. And you can see just how much these drivers are sawing on these wheels. Taking a peek here at a little onboard action, if you will, for McClellan in 22. And you can see right on the back bumper that Cobo-Hannon machine of the 38 car. That's driven by Rowdy Wesley Hogue. And there you see the Highline up on the top. They are making a little magic happen. Whoa, big slide there. He gathers it back up, hits that yellow line, and on the apron there. Big time save. Oh, car up on the outside wall. Looks like he's going to try and gather it back up. That's going to be the 35 car of Nathan Brown. Huge hit into the outside wall. And you can see still kind of struggling with the handling. A little bit of a bumper car action for that 35 of Brown as he kind of almost falls all the way back through the field here. Currently running just outside the top 10 in 13th. Big damage on the right rear. The 24 is going to try and get by. There's the 83 of Lasowski going to try and get by as well. We keep it clean. We keep it green. And the 13 car of Milkovic's going to take over the lead. 38 car going to tuck right into his tire tracks, get right up in his back bumper, and try and push him away from the rest of these cars in this pack. There you can see the 75 car of Skidmore trying to lead the high side. The 99 right up in there with him as well. Michael Rogers, 23 spots up from where he qualified. That'll put him back in 28th. That puts him in the running, I believe, that extra $50 if he restarted, or if he started rather, in those final 3 rows. And that's an awesome bonus here that we've got from the bshow.info. Folks, great to see. How about Brent Roy in the 26 car? Not entirely sure why we don't have him scored on timing and scoring, but you can see him. He's running up in the top 10 on that 26 Flow Racing machine. So we'll have to take a peek at that, figure out what the heck is going on with timing and scoring. But Brent Roy having himself a solid run, motoring on through, letting everybody know he is here in that 26 car. Actually taking a peek, Brent Roy has a fast car, but he's 6 laps down in that 26 machine. Missing the start of the race is what we're hearing. Taylor Lasowski going to come down pit road in the 83 car. Missed his pit stall, it looked like. That's a huge, that's a tough break for the Taco Bell machine. Back up front, still battling it out. And you can see these drivers absolutely utilizing every single inch of this racetrack. That 13 car, Elka Milkovic, really pushing a leader there of Hogue in the 38 car. And they've got a little bit of distance between that front line and the top line. But there you can see it. Big run for the 75 of Skidmore. Has a little bit of help. 3 or 4 cars up in that high line. And you can see that second kind of group back there trying to get a little bit of that drafting help up top as well to see who can motor on through. And you can see that high line, the more cars that get up there, the quicker they're able to kind of close in on that bottom side. Hogue doing everything he can in that 38 car to try and hold on to the lead. I have talked to Wes before each and every single one of these races. He is hungry, wants to come home with a victory. Tried many times, many incidences, couple of wrecks as well, a lot of torn up race cars. Not quite having the points run that he wants here in the Liberty Racing Series, so he needs a win. Needs to get locked into the playoffs here. You win and you're in, and you get the opportunity to fight for that wrestling-style championship belt. And again, check out that Liberty Racing League Facebook page. Get yourself a picture of it and take a look at the clipped video footage that we debuted that belt live on Slam Draft with Liberty Racing. Oh, big slide for the 13 car. Big wreck. Huge bunch of cars under the outside safer barrier. That is going to bring out caution flag number 4. And there you see it. Lots of damage in this one. Caution flag flies. Lap 23 here at iRacing Superspeedway. Caution flag flies once again here, and it's tough to say, but man, oh man, a lot of these wrecks happening up towards the front The 13 car getting a little bit slidey in that high line. Focus in on it here as we get into the corner. We apologize for the video feed doing a little bit of derp action, but there you see the 13 car slides on out from that second row, and we will get that video feed sorted out, promise you, by next week. All those upgrades coming in the mail tomorrow. Very excited here at Vidane TV. But there you see the 13 car going to park it down on pit road. Sean Calvin in the 91 going to be down there as well. Skidmore in the 75. Smoke coming out of the back of that Rays energy drink machine. Tough break for a lot of drivers involved in this one. And obviously going to give these drivers an opportunity to come down pit road and get some of that damage taken care of. And what that's going to do, that's going to give us an opportunity to take a quick break, to take a step away. We'll be right back here for some green flag action here and the iRacing Superspeedway, the bshow.info, Joker's Wild. Lights are off on the top of the iRacing pace car, getting ready to do battle once again. Taking that restart here on lap number 27. You can see everybody lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Bobby Gibson going to stay out on track, lead himself a couple of laps, try and take this restart on old tires. Wes Hogue once again winning the race off pit road. So that 38 car very quick. That pit crew very quick as well. There goes the iRacing pace car. Once again, going to get another corn dog and an ice cold Coca-Cola. A little bit of a connection issue there, it looks like, for Gibson. Going to have to keep an eye on that as Barney in the flag stand throws that green flag racing once again here at iRacing Superspeedway, passing that start-finish line. 38 car takes a peek down low. It's going to see if he can lead that bottom side around this racetrack. Shortest way around the racetrack. You can see just how much room here is at this racetrack. 3-4 grooves wide, and every single inch of that track being utilized by these drivers. Rick Seabrans in the 4 car has a little bit of help on that high side. He's got the 04 car of Mark Mann in behind him. Jarrett Bolliard there as well. Mike Rogers in the 99 car up in the mix. Bobby Gibson dropping back to 6, dropping back to 7 as Jimmy Reynolds and the 33 car comes down and around. And you can see, the 4 car clips the apron just a little bit, drifts on up just to get a little bit of attention on that Yeti number 4. And everything gathers back up. Everybody keeps it pointed in the right direction. We are clean and green. 4:04, 97, top 3. In the 38 car trying to tuck back in the tire tracks of the drivers up in the top 3. And everybody up in the top 5 or so kind of singled out, but you can see through the rest of the pack just how many different racing lines are around this track. You can see Bolliard in the 97 all the way down to that yellow line. He's going to get a little bit of a run there on the bottom side. Seburn's going to try and hold him off on the high side. He's got help with the 04, but the 38 closing on in. Look at the damage in the back of that number 97 Toyota. Big time damage. Bolliard doesn't seem to be slowing him down any. West is going to get right up to the back bumper of that 97 car. See if he can't push him around the fast way around the racetrack. And that's down on the bottom on that yellow line. 4 car going to close the door. Going to bring Mann in the 04 with him. And you can see a little 3-wide action. The Collier and the 02 stuck in the middle for a brief moment. The 28 car of Gibson working that high side, trying to hold on those older tires, but it doesn't quite seem he's got enough go to get up with these leaders. So he's going to be hoping for a quick caution here, maybe come down, get some tires, get a little damage repaired on the virtual machine, and get back out on track and see if he can't do battle with these drivers up on the front. There's the 17 car of Kevin West. You can see running. Check that. That's the 33 car of Reynolds, Jaguars number 17 machine. Scored 33 car on timing and scoring. The 02 car of Collier there as well. He's going to make a big run up on the high side. Stalls out just a little bit, but you can see as the drivers kind of back up a little on the bottom, you have to ease off the throttle just a bit to make sure the car gets set up and the tires grip and you're able to get through to the end of the corner. But as they do that on the bottom side, high side really able to gain a little bit of momentum, and that's exactly what Collier's trying to do in that 02 car. You can see he's got the 83 car now. The Taco Bell ride of Taylor Lazowski has a little bit of push and help up on the high side. They're going to try and close things up there. You see the 26 car, the Flow Racing Machine, down multiple laps, involved in an incident, but still trying to persevere, still trying to have himself a good points night here in the Liberty Racing League. And by the way, get a little bit of TV time here on Vidane TV. Again, got to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, TikTok. We're all over the place here this evening. Be sure to shoot on over to Vidane.net, the virtual merchandise hauler. Get yourself a t-shirt, a hat, a sweatshirt, coffee mugs. We got stickers. We got all sorts of cool stuff over there. www.vidane.net. And man, oh man, Liberty Racing League shirts. We got Rent a Race Car, Angry Tree Guy, the Vidane TV shirts, True Fiction RP. There's all sorts of cool stuff over there. Check it out. Be sure to use that promo code Liberty, and that'll get you 10% off at checkout. www.vidane.net, the virtual Vidane TV merchandise hauler. How about this action on track we have here at the iRacing Superspeedway? Rick Seabrans in the 4 car, holding on to the lead right now. Wes Hogue trying to make a little magic happen in that 38 car. A big slide for the 02. Hogue involved hard on the outside wall. Huge wreck once again. Caution flag flies. Lap number 38. More contact for the 12 car. Big wreck. Lots of damage for these drivers in this Liberty Racing League race. Here you can see lots of smoke around the racetrack. Everybody going to get woed down once again for the caution number 5. So we'll back up to U-House Racing Designs Instant Replay. Take a peek. Kind of saw a live shot there, but there was so much going on. This is one of those things we got to bust out the YRD blimp and take a look from high atop this racetrack. You can almost see kind of a simultaneous slide with a couple of drivers up in the front 5 or 6 cars or so. We'll take a look at it. Follow along, second car up on the high side. It's the 0-2 of Rob Collier. There you can see it almost looks like something broke on that 0-2 car. A couple of drivers in the back trying to avoid calamity, but man, oh man, with all that smoke, tough to see. With all those cars, tough to see as well. And that's going to bring a lot of cars down pit road into the garage area. We've seen many of these drivers already take that quick repair, so it's going to be tough to see how many guys are going to be able to make it back out on track here. And you can see kind of closing back up on the back of the field. Handful of drivers now coming down pit road to get themselves some service. Lots of black smoke coming out of the 38 machine. He's going to use that quick repair for sure. Michael Carpenter into 5, going to give up a little track position up front. Come on down. He's going to join these guys. And you can see lots of damage on the 24 car. Lots of damage on a lot of these cats mid-pack on back. Now that the pace cars got everybody hooked up, lined up single file, they're going to come down pit road here as well. And getting closer and closer to that halfway mark, about 6 laps away before we're halfway through in this one. And we, again, want to thank everybody for tuning in all over the place on the internet. And doubleheader Tuesdays, as we have been calling them out here. Got the Kartplex iRacing Winter Series coming on up at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time after this one. And we're going to be taking a up it in the jumbo jet, shooting on over to Los Santos with the True Fiction RP crowd. And that's going to be over on Twitch, twitch.tv/strictly94. We'll get that all hooked up and get into some late night shenanigans with the late night crew. Maybe do a little paintball action, a little motorcycle ride up and down the highway. I even do a little dirt bike action up on Mount Chiliad. If you're wondering what the heck is this guy talking about in the broadcast booth, TrueFictionRP.com. If you've ever played Grand Theft Auto Online or Grand Theft Auto 5, definitely, and you enjoyed yourself, if you enjoyed it, definitely check it out, TrueFictionRP.com. Do a quick search on TikTok for Joey Stockton RP.com, Joey Stockton RP. You'll be able to figure out what it is that I'm talking about. Always cool to hang out with everybody over there, and it's a neat little escape from reality. Got a little racing action going on as well with the Diamond Casino and Resort Weekly Racing Series kind of going to be coming up here in a couple of weeks' time, and that's actually going to be broadcasted live right here on Verdane TV. Knock that fourth wall down. How about that? Pretty cool stuff that's going to be happening here on Verdane TV coming up. Big shows coming up here as well. Tim's Corner Motorsports bringing us to Jim Hallahan 333 in towards the end of the month here on Verdane TV. That's going to be a lot of fun. Check out timscorner.ca/iRacing for all the details there as well. So you can see the 4 and the 04 are going to stay out on track and under this caution flag. And they're going to tuck right in behind that iRacing pace car, who has indeed shut those lights off once again. We're going to be doing some green flag racing here, getting that restart on lap number 36. Pace car bringing the field up around turns 3 and 4. Going to take that left-hand turn once again down to the safety of pit road. Going to give us an opportunity to do battle once again here at the iRacing Superspeedway. Barney in the flag stand says, go, go, go. Green flag flies here on lap number 36. Seabrins on the high side gets a bit of a jump. The 04 car man down on the bottom side going to try and tuck right into his tire tracks. He's got the 97 of Bollier at Overstreet and the 46 Anderson. Great recovery for that 18 car running in the top 5. Jamming on up through the gears here in these Xfinity cars. These drivers coming around out of turn number 2 down the massive backstretch. 3-mile Superspeedway here with the fictional iRacing Superspeedway. Struggled a little bit the last time we were here with the Liberty Racing League. It was almost a question of whether or not we were going to run this race here at the iRacing Superspeedway. Lots of room around this track, but man, oh man, look at how high that banking is. And we'll actually take a peek, little onboard shot here of the 18 of Bobby Anderson. Coming in, you can see there's the damage in the back of 97 car of Bollier from an earlier incident on the back of that TRD Toyota. But here you can see as they get into turn number 1, having to burp the throttle just a little bit. There's more banking here than Daytona. I think there's even more banking here than Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll have to double check on that. But caution flag flies once again here at iRacing Superspeedway. Darren Mack in the 59 car, big time damage, and you can see has called for the tow truck. Looks like he's going to be Dunsky for the evening, and you can see almost looking like a modified on the front of that race car. Big time sheet metal damage on that. So we got to get an opportunity here once again to pull up the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. We'll find out exactly what brought out that caution flag here. It's going to be the 6th caution flag here on the night. And we made mention it's a tough track to handle. Lots of room all the way around, and man, as we take a peek, going the back in the tapes up here on that U-House Racing Designs instant replay, scary wreck for that number 59 car. We're gonna take a peek as it happens. Here, focus in. There's the 59, that light blue car, up on the or down on the bottom side, kind of 3 wide in behind them. Everybody trying to utilize some momentum around the racetrack. There's a little bit of a tap. And there you see it. Big hit. Oh, huge hit from the 91 car. Almost drives right through him. That 59 car spinning like a top. Finally gets down to the flat surface of the racetrack. Spins a couple more times. Sticks the landing. How about it for the 59 car? You know the rules here on Brain TV. Whenever somebody goes upside down, they get up on their lid. Got to take a peek from inside the race car and find out what it felt like for this driver. And that's going to be Darren Mack in the 59 car. Riding on board. There's Hogan, the outside, gets by. That is a scary, serious situation. And there you see, there's the hit from that other car. Sparks, ground, sky, grass, sparks, ground, pavement, white line, pavement, sparks. A lot of that. And there you can see, sticks the landing. Gives an opportunity to catch his breath. Tries to put it in gear. There's no fire under that motor any longer. That is a tough break for the 59 car, and that's going to bring out the caution flag here at the halfway marker, and everybody coming on down to the safety of pit road to get some service. Sebring's going to lead them all down. Bollier, Anderson, Duval, and Swope going to be the top 5 as they come down. Everybody going to get an opportunity to work on the cars just a little bit. Some of them just going to get tires. Some of them just going to get fuel. And you can see some drivers already down and away. And just a thunderous race off pit road. Beautiful shot here. Got to give a shout out to TrackCams22.com for hooking us up with some beautiful iRacing camera shots here around this racetrack. And it looks like it's going to be the 4 car of Sebrins in that Yeti machine that's going to lead everybody off pit road. And behind him, Mark Mann in the 04. He's been there in that 2nd position for quite some time now. Bobby Anderson, Jarrett Bollier, and Elliott Swope going to be the top 5. David Overstreet, Wesley Hogue, John Ballou, Michael Carpenter, and Jax Duval rounding out the top 10 as they race off of pit road. Lined up 2x2 once again. You can see the lights are off in the iRacing pace car. Getting ready to go once again. Hard left-hand slide onto pit road. Seaburns and Mann up in the front row. Anderson, Bulliard, Swope the top 5. Overstreet, Hogue, Carpenter, Duval, Durstock going to be the top 10. Green flag flying once again here at iRacing Superspeedway in the bshow.info. Jokers Wild. Drivers trying to find out when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, and when to run. You can see Seaburns and Mann gets it single file. 4 cars now single file. Anderson and Bulliard down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Overstreet a little bit up on the high side in the Country Time Lemonade ride. He's going to bring Wes Hogue. Wes Hogue going to stay down on the bottom side with Jax Duval right up in behind him. And everybody trying to get down now to the bottom side of the racetrack as we get the momentum going once again here. Takes a little bit of time to get these Xfinity cars up to speed here, especially when you've got a 3-mile super speedway. Massive conglomerate racetrack here, fictional racetrack in the iRacing world. And you can see right now, Seaburns has this place figured on out. That 4-car leading a bunch of laps here in the first half and starts the second half with leading the race here. And Mark Mann right up and behind him. Bobby Anderson, Wes Hogue, Jared Bollier, the top 5. A little bit of a who's who, as it were, here in the Super Speedway racing world and iRacing. And again, got to thank everybody for tuning in. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We're live on all of them. Be sure to give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, a share, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know that you're watching some iRacing action here as it unfolds live, because that's how we do it here at Verdane TV. Rick Seaburns holding on to the lead. Mark Mann right in behind him, taking a peek at the timing and scoring, looking like we've got about 20 cars on the lead lap. Lots of damaged race cars throughout the field, and a couple of drivers down on pit road for the remainder of this one after some couple of few wrecks here throughout the evening here. But lap 43, easy enough for me to say here, with 58 or so. No, my math is awful. 38 laps. 37, carry the 1. There's some races to go. Some laps to go. Just past the halfway marker here in the bshow.info Jokers Wild Race at iRacing Super Speedway. And once again, got to give Joe a shout out from bshow.info and from Doorstop Nation. Got to check out both of those websites. Lots of entertaining stuff on there, from wrestling, podcasts, to prank calls, to all sorts of cool stuff, interviews as well. So got to support those that support us and support our hobbies here, and everybody involved in the iRacing world, the Liberty Racing League world here as well, and everybody that helps us out at Verdane TV. Huge thank you. All we try to do is entertain the masses, and we do it big time here with the Liberty Racing League on a Tuesday night. Doubleheader Tuesdays here on Verdane TV, coming up in about an hour and a half here after the checkered flag of this one. Going to be the Kartplex iRacing Series. Some drivers from Western Canada jumping on board. A lot of go-kart racers in the mix. They run the Mazda Miatas here at road courses, so going to be a lot of fun to check those guys out. Before we get into that, though, we got to wrap this thing up. We got to get to the finish line. We got to find out if we're going to get ourselves a new winner for the season, or if we're going to get another repeat winner. And you can see that's the playoffs starting to shape up rather, as we get closer and closer to playoff time. And we've made mention time and time again, week after week, that championship belt is an absolute gorgeous trophy to have in the sim racing world. We did them in Verdane Racing a couple of times. As far as I know, there are 3, count them 3, wrestling-style championship belts from Super Speedway leagues, and they came from Verdane Racing. Ian Plash winning one. Jarrett Bollier, who's in the field in the 97 car, he's in 3rd right now, has himself a championship belt as well. And Richard Beasley winning the Sim 500 Verdane Racing collaboration to get himself the Red Strap championship belt. So always looking for a challenge in the sim racing world, always looking for cool trophies, and having a championship belt with some bragging rights absolutely going to be on the order for these drivers. Jarrett Bollier, the 97 car, the only driver in the field that's going to try and call himself Jarrett 2 belts, trying to get that 2nd championship belt, and Rocket's on the other shoulder. It's 1 on each. That's what those shoulders are for, carrying around those championship belts. Rick Seaburns still holding on to the lead. He is got a lot of help, a lot of momentum up on that high side. You can see as the drivers kind of get into the corners, they're up on the high side. As they come off the corner, a little bit down on the bottom of the racetrack, and really quick way around this track, almost like a qualifying line if you look at it. But the 4 car definitely seems to know what he's doing in that Yeti machine. The 04 car, man, tucked right on in his back bumper, pushing him around the racetrack. The 97 has a bit of help from Bobby Anderson in that 18 car, and had himself a little bit of a spill earlier on in the 18 car. Involved in one of those big wrecks, got that quick repair done, and you can see running up into the top 5, and there is the 38 car of Hogue as well. Big hit for him a couple of cautions ago. He's back up into the top 5, showing he's got what it takes to come home with a victory, trying to get that first win of the season there in the 38 camp. But just one of those things, runs up front, needs a lot of laps, hasn't been able to close the deal here yet. And I talked about it earlier on in the show. I've talked to Wes. He's hungry. He wants to win here in the Liberty Racing League. Big boss man, as it were, race official, sets everything up here, and man, oh man, has he got himself a pack of talented drivers. Hasn't been able to win himself a race this season, hasn't been able to lock himself into the playoffs. Doing okay on points. He could definitely get himself pointed into the playoffs, but he wants to make sure that he locks himself in with a victory here. He's going to do everything he can on that high side to try and get around the 4 car of Sebring. But man, oh man, are they going to struggle trying to get around him with he's got man in the 04 car in the back pushing. You can see Jared Bolliard now closing the gap just a little bit. He's got the 18 there as well. How about, I believe that's going to be the 9 car, John Blue, scored a 62 there on the timing and scoring. He is hooked up with Hogue on that high side. You can see closing that gap, trying to get the 38 car just a little bit more of a push. Doesn't have enough help though. Lots of drivers lined up on the bottom side, only 2 up on the high side. And they're able to kind of hold on just a little bit, but they're not really able to make up too much ground. They would need a couple of those drivers in the back or even third on back to jump up onto that high line. How about the 97? A little bit of a wiggle there as they cross the stripe to start lap number 50. Really taking a peek down on that bottom side. It almost looks like Williard in the 97 trying to see if the 4 or the 04 make a mistake, slip on up, and then he'd be right there to capitalize. Send that nose of the 97 Toyota into that door. How about slamming that door for the 9 car right on up into the front of the 97 car, leaving Wes Hogue in the 38 car out to dry on that high side. Has a bit of help from the 5 in the Carpenter machine all the way back a little bit further, but he's going to think a little bit better of it and tuck back in here in a line. Maybe the 4th car in line for the 38 car in front of Bolliard. So that's going to be one of the things. Maybe the Bolliard machine of the 97 was getting a little bit too hot, leading all those laps. So 38 car going to jump on front and heard a car down on pit road, it looks like, popping a motor. So lots of damage. A little bit of war of attrition here at the iRacing Superspeedway. Had ourselves a handful of wrecks in the bshow.info Joker's Wild Race here at the iRacing Superspeedway. 17 cars now on the lead lap. So this definitely having a couple of drivers involved in big wrecks down on pit road, getting some damage worked on. Everybody else still back out on track. Sebring's holding on to the lead. Mark Mann, John Ballou, Wesley Hogue, Jared Bolliard, top 5 as they run. Single file action here as we work lap number 52. Sebring's out front, Mambaloo in second and a third. And you can see the field dwindling just a bit. 17 cars on the lead lap, 15 of them right in this front pack. And that definitely means any 15 of these drivers, any one of these 15 drivers, easy enough for me to say, able to come out on top of this one. But they are going to have a tall order trying to get around this duo up front. There you can see the 04 car of Mark Mann all over the back bumper of Rick Sebring's in the 4. That's something that the 4 car has in his back pocket and has on his back bumper. Someone that's able to really push very quickly and get around this racetrack as quickly as they can, working lap number 53. Pretty much single file throughout the field. A couple of drivers down or out through mid-pack on back, dipping on out to try and get a little bit of air on the front of the cars, but for the most part, single file, just kind of parading around the track here at iRacing Superspeedway. These guys know that this track, very tough on tires, very tough on cars as well. This banking is not quite able to really get these things slowed down if they do get themselves into a wreck. So things have calmed down for now, crossing the stripe there for lap 54. Less than halfway to go here. We're getting close to about 35, 36 laps to go here in the bshow.info Joker's Wild Race. Everybody holding their cars right now. They're going to not really slam them down just yet. It's going to be interesting to see what we have as we have the final 35 or so laps on this one. Taking a look at the stints here, it looks like everybody up in the top 17, everybody on a lead lap in any sense, came down 14, 15 laps or so ago. So what that tells me, everybody up front going to need at least one more pit stop to get themselves to that checkered flag and see if they can get themselves a victory here in the Liberty Racing League. One car dipping on down. I believe that's Kevin West in the 17. He's going to come down pit road here with 35 laps to go. That could be big. Doesn't have any drafting help. It's going to be a wonder to see where he comes down pit road to see if he can get back to the front. But right now, he's going to come down pit road under green flag conditions. Going to lose a lot of times to the leaders. Sebrin's in the 4, holding on to it. And you can see those 3 cars getting tight. Bumper to bumper to bumper. They are trying to pull away from the pack. There you see the 38 car of Wes Hogue in third. He keeps peeking on that high side, not able to get anybody to go up there with him. Jarrett Bollier there in the 5th position. In the number 97 Toyota, he's got Bobby Anderson in the 18 there right as well. We've seen those guys up on the high side multiple times, but man, oh man, they're not able to get it done here with 25 laps to go. My math was off by 10. 25 laps to go here in the Liberty Racing League. The bshow.info Joker's Wild here at the iRacing Superspeedway. Take a look on board action with Bobby Anderson in the 18. And as you can see, car down low, it's going to be the 17 of Kevin West coming off pit road. Elliott Swope there in the top 10 as well. Michael Carpenter in the 5. There's a couple of the iRacing Warrior cars hooked up bumper to bumper. The 84 car of Jax Duvall. That Jax Duvall ain't nothing to mess with. How about that? The Wu-Tang Clan car holding on to the top 10 right now. Freddie Durstock Sr. in the 7 car. Haven't mentioned him all night. He's up in the top 10, having himself a solid run. Jimmy Reynolds outside the top 10, just a little bit further on back. There you see him in the 17 car. The 46 of David Overstreet, little country time lemonade ride. Oh, that's one of my favorite paint schemes in racing. A little pink and yellow action. Always cool to see something like that. High contrast in the broadcast booth. It's really hard to miss a hot pink race car. Sean Calvin in the 91 car there as well. We saw him big wreck earlier on, as is the 12 of Nick McClellan Jr. TJ Floyd, great recovery for the 49 car involved in that first lap wreck. Big time hit for the 49 car, still holding on to it. Running 15th right now, and it looks like he's the last car on the lead lap. A couple of cars coming down pit road and a couple more cars coming down pit road here as well. Sliding and grinding, those tires smoking. Gonna have to check and see if we get ourselves any speeding penalties, but with 23 laps to go, these drivers know that you can't really lose a lap here under green flag as long as you don't have any issues on pit road. This track is so massive. 3 miles, over 3 miles here at the iRacing Superspeedway. So they know that they're not going to have to lose a lap if the caution flag comes out. Everybody else is going to have to come down, and they can stay out on track. So it's going to be a battle of wits here as we come out closer and closer to the end of this one, to that checkered flag. Sebrin's now going to dip down pit road and bring a couple of drivers with him. Sebrin's, Ballou, Mann, Bolliard, Hogue, and Duvall all going to come down. Big slide for the Wu-Tang Clan. And the 84 Duvall may very well have himself a speeding penalty. And this one may very well have a caved-in left front quarter panel there as well. There you see Ballou in the 9, Rick Sebrins, Mark Mann, Wesley Hogue, Jared Bollier, Jax Duvall, Nick McClellan, all coming down for their final potentially their final pit stop of the evening. How about these cats back here? The 18 car holding on to it, taking over the lead right now, still has to come down pit road. He's got a couple of the iRacing Warrior cars in behind him with Elliott Swope, Michael Carpenter, Freddie Durstock Sr. there as well in the number 7 car. 22 laps to go. 4 drivers still out on track. Just kidding. Here they come. Those final 4 drivers that needed that pit stop going to come down. There you see lots of tire smokes. This guy's going to have to swap those tires out. And so there you see the Warrior car, number 7 as well. So if they're going to come down pit road, give up that lead. Jarrett Bolliard going to be the first car off pit road in that last pack that came down. Wesley Hogue right in behind him. Rick Seabrins, Mark Mann in behind him. So that was a little bit of a shuffle in the deck, as it were. And this is going to be fun to see. 20 laps to go. Everybody making their final pit stop of the night. Riding on board right now with Jarrett Bolliard as he comes up through the gears. Coming off of pit road, you can see just how steep the banking is as he gets into turn 3. Everybody else still down on pit road here. There you see the 18 finally down and away, and this is going to be close. The 18 going to have to go all the way around turns 1 and 2 down on the apron. And here you can see at the start-finish line, Jarrett Bolliard in the 97 car on a full head of steam, has himself a little bit of help in behind him. Wesley Hogue is back there. Seabrins, Mann, McClellan all up in there. The 54 car, the iRacing Warrior machine going down a lap up on the high side. Tough break for him. You see the more of the Warrior cars coming off of pit road here as well. So that may very well be something we're going to take a peek at and follow along in the last 20 laps. See if we get ourselves a little bit of a team battle up towards the front. And as you can see, really tough to see these two drivers coming off pit road. Not quite up to speed yet. And as we come out of turn number 4, you'll be able to see with this wide shot, Wes Hogue is going to lead these drivers all the way up to that lead pack, and he's got some help in behind on the 4 car all over the back bumper of the 38, and full steam ahead for the 38 car. Takes a peek down low, backs off the throttle, knows that he's got to make sure that that car sticks to the racetrack to get it down through the turns. Already peeking back up on that high side. He's hoping somebody will jump up there on that high side with him, but as this gap, as his second pack catches the first, everybody jumps on down to the bottom side of the racetrack. 20 laps to go here in the bshow.info Joker's Wild Race here at the iRacing Superspeedway Liberty Racing League. Check them out on Facebook. Vidane TV, check us out on Facebook if you don't already. Give us a like, a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff. We're over on the YouTube page as well. Do a quick search for Vidane TV and make sure you pull us up on the YouTube app on a smart TV. Get us up on the big screen and let us know where you're tuning in from, live and interactive here throughout the evening on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Twitch. And be sure to shoot on over to Vidane.net, grab yourself a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, something to keep you warm as you're watching the Vidane TV action here. Liberty Racing League, Tuesday night action, the bshow.info, Joker's Wild iRacing Superspeedway race. And 19 laps to go, final pit stop already in the books. These drivers know that they've got 19 laps, 18 laps, 17 laps or so to kind of plan their attack. Figure out what they're going to do to get themselves into victory lane. You're pretty much hooked up with who you've got right around you. And one of the things we really got to focus in on is those iRacing Warrior Wrap cars that are hooked up. The 5, the 21 up there as well. The 7 is up there. So the 42 up there leading Elliott Swope. So those guys may very well be trying to get hooked up. You can see the 9 car going to jump up on the high side. Maybe see if he can get himself some momentum. Actually, he's going to go down a lap there in the 9 car. Going to move up to the high side of the racetrack. Elliott Swope up front. Michael Carpenter, Wesley Hogue there in at thirds. And the caution flag flies once again. David Overstreet finding himself in trouble. Smoke for the Country Time Lemonade car. Doesn't look like the damage is too bad. He's able to grab a gear and get motoring once again. It'll give us an opportunity to take a little peek here at the U-House of Racing Designs instant replay and find out what happened to the 46 car. Let's get him down on the apron like that. And one of the tricks that we noticed here with this big, massive iRacing Super Speedway, really tough to get the grip hooked up in the back end of the race car. As you can see, going into turn number 1, the 46 car, it almost seems like something breaks in the car. You can see slides on up into the outside. Pack gets by, everything A-OK, comes down to the apron, and everything looking good. Some damage from a previous incident on that 46 car. But still able to grab a gear and get on going. Just kind of gives us a little bit of a timeout break with 17 laps to go. Swope, Carpenter, Hogue to top 3. Not too many drivers on the lead lap wanting to gamble in this one. Everybody coming down pit road to get their final service of the evening. Tires, fuel, and a little bit of that virtual hammer on the sheet metal here in this one. Hogue going to lead them all down to pit road. 16 laps to go, and man, oh man, you can see it's fuel only for a lot of these drivers already down and away. They're just making sure they've got themselves enough fuel for a green-white checkered attempt. Maybe 2, maybe 3 of them here. That's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on for sure. We usually get, or we do seldom get, sometimes get a green-white checkered attempt, but not many times do we get them on a 3-mile racetrack. You figure that's an extra 6 to 9 laps of, or miles rather, of fuel in these race cars that they're going to have to try and hold on. There you see the 42 car of Elliott Slope going to win the race off pit road. Mark Mann and behind him, Rick Seaburns in the 4 car behind him. Michael Carpenter, Wesley Hogue, the top 5. Freddie Durstock Sr., Bobby Anderson, Nick McClellan, Jarrett Bolliard, and Sean Calvin going to be the top 10 as they come off pit road here. 16 laps to go under caution for the 7th time here in the bshow.info. Joker's Wild Race at the iRacing Superspeedway. Big race coming up here after as well once we get through the Turn 4 podcast post-race show where we talk to the top 3 drivers in this one and see where they're going to be heading into next week's momentum race here on Vidane TV. And then coming up a little bit later on here tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, an hour or so from now, the Kartplex Winter Series, Kartplex iRacing Winter Series, jumping on board. Some drivers from the west coast of Canada going to be jumping on in. Big drivers coming in from the kart racing series they have out there, and they're going to be racing Miatas at Summit Point. That's going to be a blast. 30 minutes on the clock for a little time attack action in that one. And time attack in this one as well. Going to turn the lights off on top of the iRacing pace car once again. We're going to get everybody lined up 2 by 2 and take that restart with 14 laps to go. This is going to be fun to watch. Taking a quick peek here at timing and scoring. 15, 16, 17 cars or so on the lead lap. TJ Floyd in the 49, Kevin West in the 17. A little bit off the pace, just a bit, coming off late to come off pit road. They're getting as much of that damage repaired as they possibly can. Everybody else lined up 2 by 2 all the way through the field here. Elliott Slope, Mark Mann, the front row, Rick Seaburns and Michael Carpenter right in behind them. Wesley Hogue, Freddie Durstock, Bobby Anderson, Nick McClellan, Jarrett Bolliard, and Sean Calvin, the top 10. Getting that restart with 14 laps to go here in this one. Anybody's ball game, anybody's race, anybody on the lead lap can come home with the victory in this one. We've seen it happen many, many times on Vidane TV before, especially in the Superspeedway series races. Very tough to tell what goes down with these great big racetracks. Lots of room all the way around here as well. But man, oh man, getting ready to rock and roll for potentially the final restart here of the night. Got to give a shout out again to everybody tuning in at home, over on YouTube, over on Facebook, over on Twitch, even up at Hank Beaker's garage up in Paleto Bay there in True Fiction RP. Got us up on the big screen there as well. Got to give a shout out to Hank and all the boys giving us a little bit of support here on Vidane TV. Got to support those that support you, and giving a shout out to everybody over on Twitch as well. Pat McWeeny, Meadows 15, some drivers or some fellas over in the True Fiction world. Taking a look up here at Bobby in the green and the flag stand, Barney in the flag stand, waving that green flag. One more again. Green flag flies, and the 21 car going to get a little bit of a jump. I believe that 21 car may very well be on the tail end of the lead lap. Elliott Slope going to hold on to the lead. Mark Mann in that 04 car right in behind him. Nope, check that. 21 car going to be the leader. That's Elliott Slope. And man, oh man, racing action once again. Trying to get up to the high side now is that 04 car of man. He's got some help with him. That high side starting to get more and more drivers as we get closer to the checkered flag. And there you see that 4 and 04 Tango duo. They have been up front many, many laps. This time, though, the 04 car up in the front. Seaburns going to be the man pushing the back bumper. Wesley Hogue there in third. Michael Carpenter, Elliott Slope the top 5. Jerry Bollier, Jimmy Reynolds, Bobby Anderson, Freddie Dirtstock, and Leon Keniston going to be the top 10 as they run right now. Everybody back down on the bottom side, single file. This is where you want to show your cards. It's no more time to fold them, no more time to hold them. You got to throw those cards down on the table and find out where they lie. Right now, though, the 09 car, 04 car, lying up front. Sebrin's right in behind him. Hogue there lined up as well. And then there's a couple of those iRacing Warrior Wrap cars lined up. Those are some team cars. Very impressive drafting throughout the season here in the Liberty Racing Series. They are trying to get themselves locked into the playoffs here to try and get an opportunity to get that championship belt, to win that championship belt. Coming down the straightaway, again, crossing the stripe, 12 laps now to go in this one. 80 laps on the docket. We're already through 68 of them. And there you see everybody lined up down the bottom side, single file. This is where you do your homework, where you find out who's going where, who's going on the high side, who's fast on the bottom, who's fast in the middle, who's able to weave through traffic, who's going to be able to avoid the wrecks if there is one here in the final closing laps of the bshow.info Joker's Wild Race. And who is going to be able to get past this duo of the 4 and the 04. Mark Mann and Rick Seabrins up front once again, swapping positions back and forth depending on the restarts. And they're going to do everything they can to try and hold on to the lead. Hold on to the lead here as we continue to race under green flag conditions. And those playoffs are coming up relatively quickly. Just a couple of more weeks here before we kick those off live on Verdane TV. Little Tuesday action doubleheader coming up here as well. The Kartplex Winter iRacing Series coming up in about an hour right here on iRacing's Verdane TV, or in iRacing on Verdane TV. And there you saw an orange streak in the back car down into the outside, inside safer barrier. It looks like we stay green, not able to get eyes on who that was, but we stay clean, we stay green. 11 laps to go. Things are getting squirrely up front. Big slide there for the 4 car, going to break up that momentum. Here comes Hogue in the 38 car, all over the back bumper now of the number 4 of Seabrins. We made mention how hungry Wesley Hogue is in that 38 car, has not won this season. Wants to win a race in the Liberty Racing League this season. Wants to get himself locked into the playoffs and wants that championship belt. Currently in possession of it. Saw the UPS man deliver that thing on slam drafting with Liberty Racing just a few weeks ago here on Verdane TV. Shoot on over to the Facebook page. Do a quick search for Liberty Racing League, and you'll be able to get some pictures of that belt. Gorgeous championship belt. Beautiful piece of hardware, and lots of bragging rights coming along with that as well. 10 laps to go as we come out of turns 3 and 4, still 04. He is the man. Everybody chasing. Mark Mann holding on to the lead. He's got some help, though, with that 4 car. Rick Seabrins right in behind him, tucked on up to the back bumper of that 04 machine. Those drivers have been working together all evening long here at the iRacing Superspeedway. But there you see, take a peek on that one. The 5 and the 21, a couple of Warrior cars hooked up bumper to bumper. 3rd and 4th cars in line down on the bottom side of the racetrack. They're hooked up top as well. The 9 and the 38 trying to make their magic happen on the high side, making it high, wide, and handsome. Less than just a few laps to go. 9 laps to be exact. Everyone has come down pit road for their final stop of the evening. Plenty of gas, plenty of tires, and all of the sheet metal that they could possibly bang out of these cars is taken care of, and you can see no more time for single file. Throw those cards down on the table. We got 8 laps to go here at iRacing Superspeedway and Liberty Racing Leagues. bshow.info, Joker's Wild Race at iRacing Superspeedway, and man, oh man, are we getting ready to rumble. You can see the 04 down on the bottom side, the 9 up on the hot top side. Little bit of a sloppy bump there. Hogue into the back of the leader of the outside line. They keep it straight, they keep it green, they keep it clean. Coming into the corners once again. This is going to be an absolute drag race for these final 8 laps, these 7.5 circuits or so. There's the 4 car dipping down below the bottom of the apron. Gathers it back up though, takes some of that momentum and slams it on into the back of the 04 car. Everybody trying to get around the 04 man. The 4 and the 04 hooked up all race long. It seems like they've led a whole bunch of laps together, and they're leading it this one. 7 to go, and the final closing laps. The 9 car up on the high side. That's going to be Baloo in the 62 there on your timing and scoring. Already won a race this season, already locked into the playoffs. He's going to be fighting for that championship belt in the playoffs later on this season. And that's going to be live right here on Vidane TV. But before we get there, we have got to finish this race here. Coming to the stripe, coming to 6 to go. The 04 car, the 4 car down on the bottom side. The 9, the 38 up on the high side, and everybody else tucked on in behind these drivers. Kevin West in the 17 car, giving up his track position, going to come down pit road. Unscheduled stop for that 17 crew. At least 15 cars right up in this lead pack, and what that tells me is there are 15 cars that could come home with the checkered flag, with the bragging rights, and with the victory here at the iRacing Superspeedway. Looking up at Barney up in the flag stand, they're getting the high five. As well, they're not getting the high five for the back straightaway. They're going into turn 3 and 4 right now. 35 car up high, down multiple laps. Going to get up out of the racing groove and let these leaders duke it out for the final 5 1/4 laps or so. And there is the high five from Barney up in the flag stand. 5 laps to go here in the Liberty Racing League. bshow.info, Joker's Wild Race at the iRacing Superspeedway. Take a look at those front 3 drivers. Man in the 04, Seabrams in the 4, Wes Hogue in the 38. He's going to peak up high. Looks like he might have himself a little bit of help, but he doesn't want to gamble too much too early. Doesn't want to throw the cards up on the table just yet. Wants to see if he can get himself up towards the front. There you can see the 17 car coming off pit road. Unscheduled stop for Kevin West. He's going to come off pit road, rejoin this pack. May very well have lost the draft there. That's going to be tough to try and keep up. There you see a couple of Warrior Racing cars up on the high side trying to get lined up. A little bit of a miscommunication, it looked like. A little bit of contact between those teammates, but it looks like they keep it clean and green. They keep it pointed in the right direction, trying to get themselves hooked up for the final closing laps in this one. Going to be an exciting finish in this. Everybody trying to get around the man. Mark Mann in the 04 car. Rick Seabrams hooked up to his back bumper. Couldn't even put a piece of paper between those two cars if we wanted to. They are hooked up tight. There's the move. The 38 going to jump up on the high side. The gap going to close down the bottom side. Hogue has made his call, and he has put all of his chips on the table, jumping up on the high side. He's got former race winner Baloo in the 9 car, trying to close the door, trying to close the gap, trying to push that 38 car closer and closer and closer to the front. Coming to the stripe, you can see a driver coming off pit road, or peeling off of the racetrack down on pit road. See if we can get timing and scoring to let us know who that was. I believe it was Overstreet in the 46 car coming down pit road for another unscheduled stop, crossing the stripe that last time by, though. 3 laps to go. Mark Mann, Michael Carpenter up in the top. There you see it, the 5 car on the high side. Massive push from the 38 of Rowdy Wesley Hogue. Having himself another solid run up in the top 5, but trying to close the deal for the 38 crew. Big push from the 9 car now as he gets up to the back bumper of that 38 car. The 5 car now up into the lead. Huge push for Wes Hogue. Gets that 5 car down onto the bottom side, and now you've got Wes Hogue in the 38 leading that high side. Popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go. 6 miles to race here at iRacing Superspeedway. The bshow.info Joker's Wild Race here at the iRacing Superspeedway. And there you see the 5 car going to hold on to it. Finally had someone get around the team of the 04 and the 4. You got to bet those 2 drivers going to be working together to try and get one of themselves into the victory circle here. The 5 car all by his lonesome. Michael Carpenter doing everything he can to hold off these hard chargers. Speaking of hard charger, the 38 car gets up towards the top. Little bit of a shot thrown there from the bottom side to break that draft. 38 car loses all that momentum. Going to have to tuck back in as they run. Looks like he's going to run in the 5th spot. Has just a couple of more opportunities in this one as we get the white flag, a white rag, 1 lap to race here on Vidane TV, the Liberty Racing League, bshow.info. Joker's Wild Race at the iRacing Superspeedway. Carpenter holding on to it, but there you see the 4 and the 04 hooked up on the high side. Man is doing everything he can in the middle lane there. The 9 car already won a race this season. He's all the way up trying to make it high, wide, and handsome. Oh, big wreck! 17 up into the outside wall. We stay green. Next flag ends the race. Mark Mann coming out of turn number 4 for the very final time. Big push on behind him. The 4 car of Seabrams all over the back bumper. Coming to the checkered. Big run from the 5 car. Not enough steam. gonna be the man up in the top. The 04 car of Mark Mann getting himself a checkered flag and locking himself into the playoffs. Rick Sebrin's gonna come home second. John Ballou gonna come home in third. Michael Carpenter and Wesley Hogue gonna be the top 5 in this one. Exciting finish, green flag finish, and a phenomenal show for the bshow.info Joker's Wild Race here at the iRacing Superspeedway. And man, oh man, oh man, Mark Mann coming home with the victory. How about that? Always cool to see that we get a little bit of entertaining iRacing action here on a Tuesday night. We're going to talk to these drivers, these top 3 drivers here on the Turn 4 podcast post-race show. And we'll get an opportunity to talk to these drivers. There you see the 4 car coming on down pit road, everybody else. And there is your winner, the 04 car from Cobleskill, New York. Going to burn them down there on the front straightaway. And man, oh man, we have had ourselves a show this evening. We're not done. We still got the kart crew coming on in less than an hour's time to take their green flag. But there you see it, the 04 and the 4 teammates, Alliance Motorsports, coming home with those top 2 spots. John Ballou in the 62 going to come home in third. Michael Carpenter, Wesley Hogue rounding out the top 5. Bobby Anderson, Leon Kenniston, Jax Duvall, Nick McClellan, and Elliott Swope going to round out the top 10. And there you can see the 04 car burning them down. Whatever's left on those back tires, whatever's left for the rubber, going to burn them all down. And man, oh man, entertaining race for sure. And just taking a peek at the rest of the finishing lineup. Sean Calvin right outside. Couple of big hits for that 91 car. Going to finish in 11th. Jared Bolliard ran up in the top 10 for most of the night. So he finishes in 12th. TJ Floyd and the 49 going to finish in 13th. Freddie Dirtstock, Jimmy Reynolds going to round out the drivers on the lead lap. And there's you can see as we sift on through a couple of tore up race cars in this one. This iRacing Superspeedway, definitely not an easy place to get around. It's a lot of room around the racetrack, but man, oh man, it's tough to really control the back end of the race car as we take a look here. 33 drivers making the call here for this one, and you can see Don Milkowitz and the 13 car going to finish in the 32nd position. We're going to have to get the timing and scoring squared away on that one. Looks like there might very well be an error in this one. But man, oh man, a top 3 getting down on pit road here, getting everybody lined up, and they're going to try and get themselves in the playoffs. And man, oh man, it's one of those things. It's funny to say it's a week before the 30th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. They made mention that Ric Flair is going to be there, and one of Ric Flair's sayings is to be the man. Woo! You gotta beat the man. And everybody trying to chase down Mark Mann, not able to get it done. Awesome drafting with your teammate, Rick Seaburns in the 4 car. Talk to us, Mark. Congratulations on the win. How did you guys hold on to the lead for so much of this race?
I had Rick behind me, so it wasn't that hard to do, and I was holding a terrible line. I was just over-analyzing every turn, and I almost lost it there. And but I had Rick behind me, and I felt comfortable, and he lets me know if I'm what to do if I get off a little bit, and I felt more comfortable pushing him actually because he holds such a better line earlier. But I know the pit stops worked out that we kind of came out a little bit separated there, but yeah, that was fun. Early on in the race, we just kind of hung back and watched things happen. A little bit of attrition. Some cars, had to use their quicks up, and it kind of, shortened the field down. And then from there, we just took some track position and stayed there.
And we struggled a little bit last time we were here at the iRacing Superspeedway. It's a big racetrack. And one of the things we're having a hard time here in the booth kind of describing to the folks out there watching on Vidane TV, massive racetrack. Over 3 miles long here, the Superspeedway. There's 3, 4, 5 cars wide that you can possibly get. What is it about this racetrack that really some drivers kind of seem to struggle with getting into turns, getting into the corners?
It's pretty simple. It's that wash up. If you miss the corner going in on corner entry and wash up, usually hit that guy in that second lane. That's usually what starts it. Tonight a little bit that we had a really hot track, and some cars were turning in a little bit too suddenly, a little bit too steep, and getting their cars loose, and they were kind of wrecking like that too. I did it myself and barely caught it. I would have had egg on my face leading and doing that. But I kind of think that's what it is, and a little bit of give and take too. Your standard super speedway fare.
So we'll set it at the start of the interview. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! Mark Mann coming home with the victory, celebrating here in victory lane. Got to give you an opportunity here, Mark. Thank anybody that's out there watching, friends, family, sponsors, anybody that makes it happen for that virtual crew.
Absolutely. I want to thank my friend Mara, who always watches the broadcast, and everybody else who watches the broadcast. And my teammates that I ran with tonight, Rick, thank you very much for pushing me to the win, and David Overstreet and Jimmy Reynolds. And thank Wes and those guys for putting this league on. And bshow.info, the sponsor. I want to thank them and you guys for broadcasting, man. Heck of a good time.
Absolutely. Mark Mann coming home with the win, locking himself into the playoffs here later on.
I'm not very good at burnouts.
Watching the slow motion burnouts, so it looks okay. There's smoke coming from the rear, so we're all right here. We got a wide angle shot here on Badane TV. So
all right, cool.
Not that bad as we do the burnouts, but
I don't win enough.
You and me both, brother. Gonna slide on down pit road just a little bit. Don't have to go too far because Rick Sebrin's here, hanging out in victory lane as well. Teammate, Alliance Motorsports teammate. We've seen the 4 and the 04 work very well together at this iRacing Superspeedway. Rick, congratulations. Top 3 run. Talk to us, man. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, I just had to swing by here and thank Mark. He's a great teammate. Really happy for him, man. It's it feels great to just have a podium tonight, to be honest with you, man. We have had such a tough time so far this season. It has not been the season that we expected or wanted for sure, man. It seems like I think this might be our only 3rd race that we finished this year. So it's been super tough out there, but really, really thankful to come out here and get a podium tonight. And congrats to Mark for sure, man. That race was crazy, man, but that was so much fun out there.
A little bit of a war of attrition here tonight. Lots of damaged battle race cars towards the back of the finishing order here. But, man, we saw that you and Mark in the 04 very, very well, working very well together as far as drafting, pushing each other around the racetrack. What can drivers do to become better at that? What can they do to really kind of draft together when you've got 2 cars that are hooked up like that? What's kind of going through both drivers' mind?
Well, you just have to have that communication and have that on the same page mentality, man. And that's what it takes, and especially on a track like this where tire wear's a factor and attrition, like you said, you want to have some patience earlier on and then save that aggression for a little bit later. And they sure did give us a run for their money, man. They got cleared there for a while. I think the 5 did. And boy, the way our car was handling it at that time, I thought we was going to be in trouble, but things happened again and got that track position back. And, it's just such a crazy race, man. I can't even explain the feeling out there of the speeds that you're carrying when you fall into these corners and you're trying to just drive it into the corner and not wash up. It's just, you really earn your money out there tonight. That's for sure.
100%. And got to give you an opportunity here to thank anybody that may be out there watching at home, friends, family, sponsors, teammates, teammates down there in Victory Lane still celebrating. But who makes it happen for that virtual 4 car?
Well, for starters, I got to thank Wes for putting all this stuff on. You guys up in the booth for bringing this to all the great fans at home and them watching. And we have to thank bshow.info for everything they do for this series, man. This is one of the premier series that runs on iRacing, and it just shows with great sponsors like them that come on board. So thanks to those guys again, and can't wait for next week.
Rick Sebrin's finishing 2nd here tonight in the number 4 car. Congratulations, man. Go celebrate.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
100%. Going to slide a little bit further on down pit road. Won a race earlier this season. Going to come home with another podium here tonight. Showing he's nothing to mess with here. The 62 car blue coming in hot. Finishing 3rd here tonight. Talk to us, John. What's going on?
Not a whole lot, man. It was a pretty good race there. I mean, Mark and Rick had it figured out. get down on the bottom, get track position. It seems to be key in super speedways, and no matter. Everybody thinks just because you're wide open, track position doesn't matter, but it worked because the outside lane, it took too much and took too many people working together to get it done. And I couldn't thank everybody that tried. We did our best, and just didn't play out. But I'll take a podium. Just got to keep putting these good races together and try to get back into victory lane. And got to thank everybody at ReaperSpeedLab.com. They do a lot for us on the open side, and bshow.info. For everything they do for the series and all the series admins that have to put up with us nuisance every week.
Always fun to watch the conversation in the Big Red Trailer after these iRacing events, especially here on the main TV. We seem to bring the ruckus in a big kind of way. But want to give you one more opportunity. Hold on to this microphone. Thank anybody that makes it happen here for the virtual number 62 machine.
Yeah, man, I think I hit it all. I just want to talk about hopefully everybody that was watching thought we put on a show, because at one point I was not cool with sitting there riding, so I at least tried to put it on a show for the fans and see if we couldn't get something going. Wes got up there a little bit and we kind of had something going. We got 3 good trucks or cars pushing really hard in the outside lane. I thought it might have worked, but it just didn't play out, and they got wild there at the end, and just lucky to be here. Top 3, can't really complain. But Reaper Speed Lab, once again, go check them out. They got a good Charlotte truck set this week. They got good super late model sets for all the short track guys. Incredible, man. Hopefully we keep doing it.
Locked into the playoffs already from a win this season. Gonna be fun to do battle for that championship belt later on in the season. Congratulations on the top 3.
Thank you, Paul.
And hanging out in that big red trailer, Rowdy Wesley Hogue, still going through, taking a peek at the replays, finding himself in the top 5. Not quite coming home with a win just yet, brother, but man, what an exciting race we had.
Yeah, really exciting race there. The first half was a poop show, and the admins kind of made it aware that we're kind of getting sick of that. I know the fans don't want to see caution after caution. Some like watching wrecks with us out in the track. I'll tell you what, it gets really hectic, and it gets really annoying for everybody out in the track. Having caution after caution is hard to get into a rhythm. But I'll tell you what, that last 40 laps, really good racing. We had that one caution come out for the single car spin. But after that, it was just straight up green. No accidents beyond or before the checkered at that point. Everybody kept it green, kept it clean. I got a little bit of a net code door there from the 04, but no harm, no foul. Me and the 62 were chugging along on the outside. But the end of that race really proved what these guys can do when you get into a rhythm. You kind of calm down a little bit. Unfortunately, this track is just one of those tracks that I don't know what it is. It's not Talladega or Daytona. It takes a little bit more skill and a little bit more technique. The way your car just washes up the track, and if you touch that apron, you're going for a ride. And if you turn that wheel a little bit further to the left than what you should in the middle of the corner, the rear end's going to come out. So it takes a little bit more skill. So it's a little bit different. But nonetheless, proud of the last half of that race. Congrats to Rick on getting the Hard Charger Award. He won $15, brought to you by bshow.info. So shout out to Rick on that. And behalf of everybody in the wrestling industry, including myself, I would like to say rest in peace to Jay Briscoe, who passed away in a car accident today, which has made national news. Paul, I'm not sure if you've seen that.
Wow, no, that's the first I've heard of that. That's tough. That's no good.
It is not. I just got aware of that news, and it kind of just hit me, and wasn't really exactly coming up here to talk about that, but I just wanted to congratulate the winners. Thank you, Paul, for what you do, as well as Rick Seabrand on winning that Hard Charger Award. But yeah, it's rough.
100%. And man, oh man, going to be wrapping things up here tonight, and we'll be back next Tuesday night with the Liberty Racing League, bshow.info jumping on board, Doorstop Nation jumping on board as well. We're going to wrap things up here at the iRacing Superspeedway, and we are going to head on out to Summit Point. Got ourselves a little bit of Mazda Miata racing action coming up in less than 45 minutes. It's going to be right here on Vidane TV. Grab yourself a beverage, grab yourself a little snack, and come right back to us here on Vidane TV. We've got ourselves some more iRacing action here on a doubleheader Tuesday. But for everybody here up in the broadcast booth of Vidane TV, everybody involved with the Liberty Racing League, bshow.info, Doorstop Nation, Thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you on the flip side. And when we do, we are going to be doing it live.